Now what is next thing which is remaining here? Yes, next thing is remaining here, this one, DMVPN. Okay, before understanding DMVPN phases, here we required a clean diagram. Okay, then please have patience. Okay, R1, R2, R3. Okay, and assume they are connected via ISP. Okay, now I am talking about here phase 1. Okay, what happened in simple phase 1? They will create, means this is our hub and these are our spokes. Yes. Okay, again I am repeating, in phase 1 they means all hub, we can say spoke or hub, or we can say server or client, they will create a permanent tunnel. They will create a permanent tunnel with the hub. Yes, you can see here in DMVPN phase 1, spokes will create a permanent tunnel with the hub, as you can see, and all the communication will happen through, yes, all the communication will happen through hub. Okay, so this is the working of phase 1. Again I am repeating, in phase 1 they will create, spoke will create a permanent tunnel with the hub and all the communication will happen through hub. No problem. Then we have to discuss about phase 2. Okay, for phase 2 what we can do? Yes, we can choose another color. Okay, for example, yes, this one. Okay, phase 2. Okay, in phase 2 they create a, they means spoke create a dynamic tunnel. Yes, again I am repeating, if you want to know about phase 2, in phase 2 spokes create a dynamic tunnel and they can communicate directly to each other. Okay, now next here we have, yes, phase 3. In phase 3 Cisco added two commands. In phase 3 Cisco added two commands. First, IP NHRP redirect, and second IP NHRP shortcut. Redirect on hub and shortcut on spoke. So here you have to add a command, IP NHRP redirect, IP NHRP redirect, and IP NHRP shortcut, IP NHRP shortcut. Yes, so what is the advantage of phase 3? Okay, look here, when client initiate a request for NBMA query, who gives the reply? Yes, R1, means hub gives the reply. When R2 will initiate a query for NBMA address, who will give the reply? Yes, R1, means hub will give the reply of the NHRP query. But in phase 3 they use a different approach. What will happen when client will initiate a query? It will send to server. Server will not give reply. It will forward it to the actual destination. Okay, when R, okay, now for example it's IP 1.1, it's IP 1.2, and it's IP 1.3. It's public IP, okay, A, it's public IP B, it's public IP C. So what will happen when R3 will initiate a request? It will use its public IP internal IP. So when it will send a request to the R1, R1 will not give reply. It will forward it to the R2. So when the query will come at the R2, query will contain, yes, the C has 1.3 and they want to know about 1.2. So all the now the mapping of tunnel IP and public IP is already at the R2. Okay, when R2 will initiate a request for NBMA query, it will send to, okay, when R2 will send query, yes, it will maintain 1.2 with public IP B, this query, it will definitely, it will like to know, communicate with the 1.3, so the query will go to the R1. R1 will not give reply, it will send it to the R3. So it will come to know, yes, 1.2 has public IPv. So here you can see they can obtain, if we are using here phase 3, they can receive the reply more accurate way, or we can say in a fast way as compared to phase 3, or phase as compared to phase 2. Okay, phase 3 was only added so that they can resolve their NHRP query in a fast way, or they can find the best path before the server tell to them. So in, again I am repeating, in phase 3 they add two commands, and the IP NHRP redirect on server and IP NHRP shortcut on spokes. Redirect on hub and shortcut on spokes, so that they can learn the NBMA IP address, or they can choose the best path already before the server gives them reply. So this was our DMVPN. Okay, in this lecture what we have discussed, yes, we have discussed about DMVPN introduction, DMVPN terminologies, NHRP, MGRE, advantages, limitation, and yes, definitely we have learned a DMVPN working and DMVPN phases. Thank you.